So, hello, everybody. Everybody. So, what to say? What to say? This is a meeting, and that's it. It's a meeting of, I don't know. I don't know. What can I say? This is about everything, and there's a confusion I saw in the underneath the YouTube video. There can be a confusion about what is everything. Is it everything for Roes, or is it everything like everything? What is everything? It's not about the word. That's crazy to be in a meeting and they are using words to explain or to say what's going on, can be going on, and all that. And it's really completely useless to understand what's being said. Is this everything? Is it everything for someone? Is it everything? Or what is everything? It doesn't matter. There can be an explaining of what's going on, and there can be talking in the story, and that can be also confusing. Talking in the story and then in the same time saying no, there is no story. So this is also a paradox. In these meetings, it's a paradox, what's being talked about. So in that way, sometimes it seems like, oh yeah, it's a clarity, there's an understanding, and then woof. Yeah, but how about this? It can't be both. And yeah, it is nothing and everything together. So how can it be nothing and also everything? How can it be an appearance of pain and it's not even there? It's not in the words, and it's also when there's being used words, it's a certain energy which is underneath something, you could say, underneath the words. Already this is can be all misunderstood, but and anything, I think everything what's being said can be misunderstood. Underneath the words there's something else going on. It's that energy with being together. It's already, are you together? So being together in a meeting talking about this, there's something else going on too. There's some, can't even say, something else going on. It has nothing to do with the words, the content of the words. There's, you could say there's a killer in the room. I like those sentences of Tony. There's a killer in the room. There's something going on, killing concepts and beliefs. It's not Rose doing that. It's like life is when there's talking together in this kind of meetings. There's a killer. There's talking to no one. And then there are no answers. There's nothing going on confirming that there's someone of that you exist. So there's something else going on too, like, oh, it's killing that concept, that really embodied belief that you are there. And you have to find it in some way, or there has to be happening something, or there has to be something else going on, or there can be something else. It's not something else. And that's crazy because that is so convincing that there's something else. This is not this is not satisfying. There's something going on. It just doesn't feel right. There's suffering and there's something missing. There seems to be something missing and all that. So there's trying to find in all kind of ways uh, what's what's lost or what's not yet there, or change the world so it will be better. That embodied belief that there's something wrong with what's going on with me, or maybe with the world or other people, is so strong and so convincing. And then there's coming to these kind of meetings and then hearing, no, there's nothing wrong. It can't be wrong. It's what it is. And that also saying to yourself, it's what it is not it. It's not what what is meant to be to be said in those meetings. There's no meaning, there's nothing to grasp. So this is, in a way, it's awful because there's nowhere to go and nothing to grasp. It's talking about nothing, and in the same time it's everything. So what is it? And there seems to be something wrong, and then you hear, no, this is unconditional love. Unconditional love, what do you mean? So this is crazy. This is even amazing that people want to listen to this and trying to hear. But in the same time, it's also amazing that not everyone want to hear this, because it's about that longing for something that it's very obvious in this kind of media. It can be more obvious in a certain way, that unconditional love, there's nowhere to go. There's nothing wrong or right, of course. There are no opposites. It's what it is, exactly that. So it's complete already. That is amazing. That's like, yes, that's what we're looking for. But what is that? How can we do that in daily life? No, you can't do that in daily life, because it's not someone who's doing that. It's the only thing there is. The only misunderstanding, but that's so embodied, that belief is so strong, is that you're there. There is no one. There never was someone. And that idea, that belief that there's someone inside who has a ability to have a choice and to make things different is a complete dream. There's no free will. There's no choice. There is what is apparently happening. Nothing is real also. So that's already another one, that like there's nothing real. Everything is an appearance of energy, and it's seen like walls and streets and feeling. Not for anyone. So everything is singular. It's exactly that what it is. Doesn't have a meaning. That's only when there's looking at it and what we can do. Like we can look at ourselves and noticing what's going on, and then suddenly there's right and wrong and better and worse, liking and not liking and all that. And there's something going on like, oh, it can be something else, and this doesn't feel right. It can be confusing because there's somewhere hurt in this meeting or other meetings like this, that everything is complete as it is. And then you're in that like, yeah, but it doesn't feel good. And when there's that noticing, looking at yourself, then there's a divider. When that looking at yourself isn't there, there's a lot of moments already. There's no looking at yourself. There's just walking or cooking or anything going on. Nothing going on in that way, like not noticing anything. When it's completely lost, there's no awareness, there's no noticing, but there's no change in that way because it was already useless. But we think it's very important to look at it and decide and think about it and being busy with it, because then we can maybe change something or get a solution or solve our problems. It's completely useless. And when it's lost, there's nothing lost. It's amazing. It's really amazing. It's being busy with that. I did that. It's being busy with that all day, and trying to find out and trying to feel and feel like it has to be better in some way, solving problems. There are no problems. There is pain, there is a feeling, there is not knowing. There's a table. Yeah? It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere. There's no time and distance. So that's already something that most of the time it's so embodied, that feeling. There's something before, there's something after. I was born, there's a long life before this, and there's a future maybe. There is no time. It's only in the dream and thinking about it. There can be a memory of thinking about what's can happen in 2 months' time or something like that. There's this, a hand, computer, feeling, all that, a wall, whatever it's going on. Sound can happen, feelings, but not for anyone. And there's also no distance. No distance is also crazy because that it's so the normal way. It's over here, it's over there. There's inside, there's outside. When they're saying no, there's no inside and there's also no outside, that's like how do you know? How do you see that? It's not that suddenly it's seen like that. This is about loss. It's the loss of the beliefs. that there is an inside and outside. That doesn't mean that the brain is not working anymore. It's the brain is still working. So there can be talking about, yeah, inside and outside, but there's no meaning in it. There's no importance. You can be talking about that, but doesn't mean anything. So what happens when everything is lost? Also the meaning and the importance of where to go and how and all that, it's also lost. It's not about Rose or someone else. There is no Rose. There never was a Rose or somebody that like you or anybody, any individual. There never was. But it's no big deal. It's a big deal when there's that idea and that belief that I'm here, and then no, then I'm not noticed by people. They don't love me, or there are a lot of issues going on, and I'm a failure. I'm very good in this and all that. There's so many things going on about me, how my life is, and what my problems are, and what I cannot do, and all that. It's a dream. It's a complete dream. And that's amazing because it feels so real and solid and really happening. And those feelings and ideas can be so strong and convincing. So there are no relations. There is no someone existing. There's no one. This is not Rose is a no one. No, it's worse than that. There is no Rose. There is that talking. That's nothing talking sound. That's it. There's no meaning in it, those words. It's that energy, yeah, finish. It's that. It's that. So it's very simple. It's so, so, so simple. Well, we are not used to that. We're used to fill it in and having a lot of words around and responsibility. How do I deal with this? All that. So we can talk about anything. We can talk about what issues there are or whatever is going on. Or maybe there's silence and nothing is holy. When there's a silence for a time, then it doesn't mean you can't say anything because it's breaking something. No, nothing is holy. When it's silent, then it's silent. When there's talking, it's talking. There's no one doing that. It's suddenly going on. Anything can happen. Doesn't mean it's nice always. I don't know. So we can talk, and if there are questions, you can unmute yourself. And when you're unmuted, you will be in the recording. So if you don't want that, you can also use the chat and then say or type what you, or not say, but type what you want to say. And we'll see. Hmm. There's not even knowing there's no one, because that can be an idea that when there's something going on and that there's a feeling of I'm here and um, I'm still here and all that and what's going on and this me is going on and all that way. Because when there's going to non-duality meetings, there can be a talking and understanding what's being said here and in other meetings, and then there's an understanding of what's the me is going on and all that. So there can be also talking about that because it can be confusing that the me energy is there or all that. There are a lot of ways to get some words out of the meeting, some clarity, and then making it into in daily life and using the words or talking about that. It can be confusing. So there can be maybe there are questions about that too. I had some chats when people were talking like that because that can be confusing. It's not about some sentences at all. There's nothing to grasp. There's no knowing. There's no clarity here. There's also, like here, how can you say it? There's no clarity. There's words coming and that's it. It's not like, oh, there's some clarity and there's talking from that. No, there's not knowing. And suddenly there are words coming. It's like everywhere. It's not. This is not different. And everything is already complete. So there can be like, yeah, but the words of Rose can be more clear than my words, things like that. It's not about it. That's also the idea that what you're doing is less than what somebody else is doing. No, it's exactly that. That doesn't mean anything. It's not better or worse. It's what it is. And it's not like, oh, here's a me and there's no me. No, there never was a me. But it can be so confusing because there's so many ideas about what's going on and not going on. And but also these meetings can be confusing. Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, hello.
When you're talking about knowledge,
Mm.
there seems that there's no room to hold knowledge. There's nothing there could hold knowledge. It's completely useless at all.
Yeah, there can be knowledge about knowing things or all that, some information about
Yeah.
things. Yeah. But yeah, it's meaningless. What can be? It's not wrong or anything, but no, it's useless. Yeah. Well, it's like it's the same as the table. There can be knowledge or the table. It's there's no in that way in importance. There's no difference.
So any form of knowledge seems that it's a apparent function of a body, more or less. That there's intrinsic knowledge about right, left, whatever, but
Mm.
there's nobody in there who'd have the knowledge or could own the knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I there can be knowing in that way. This is my right hand. This is my left
Yeah.
hand, or things like that. Yeah, can be. Yeah, in that way you could say there's knowledge. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
So kind of knowledge seems to be the kind of function of the brain who seems
Yeah.
apparently be able to know something or
Yeah.
to function in a certain way that
Mm.
is interpreted as an interpretation of knowledge, but as not no knower behind the knowledge. There's just knowing or knowledge.
Yeah, well, it's also like everything is an appearance. So we assume that the whole body is functioning in a certain way, but everything is singular. So this it's like this face, it's everything. So there's we assuming it's the whole body and that's functioning in a certain way. Already that is a story. It's that face and that's everything. And then there's something else. So it's you can't I can't even say how is everything working because that brain is so quick in making filling in the gaps and feeling like there's a whole body and there's a functioning and all that. So it seems like there's the story of Rose or the body is going on in a certain way. There's not even that. Well, it seems like there's a story, and it's also amazing that there seems to be a story, and there's walking to the market and all that, thinking like, oh, I want to have cheese and going to the market. How is that? What is happening? It's amazing that that's going, and how does that work? It's a miracle in a way. Yeah, that that's going.
And it seems that there's no one there who could trace back where it all comes from.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
But I think there can be that brain that making it into a story of like this body is walking towards that in a certain way or all that. It's so quick, like like and then there seems to be a story in that or a knowing and all that. Well, and then it becomes important because that's assuming that there's someone inside doing that. Already when there's no one inside doing anything, it's like already, it's like, oh, everything is going by itself, but it's not even going because there's nothing really happening. It's an appearance of like that. And it seems like there's a continuation in a certain way. Not even that is going on because time is not real. Oh,
yeah, there's absolutely nothing to hold on to.
oh
Uh,
no, no.
yeah,
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it's
Thanks.
great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Life is joy. Life is in a subtle way, it's joy. It's everything. And it's aliveness. It doesn't mean anything. It's like little children, and then when there's growing up, there seems to be like it's a how do you say that? And separation. So there's going like I'm here and you are there, and then we have to behave in order to be loved and all that. Well, there's no separation. There never was. There is this, and it's life. It's meaningless, and it's full on in any way already. It's complete in itself, in everything. So there's nothing not complete. It's already complete. And there can be an idea or a feeling there's something missing, or those thoughts can be there. But it's thoughts. They don't mean anything. Can be very convincing, of course. It's And then somebody's saying sometimes it feels like I don't have enough contact with myself, or there's a weird energy that is arising. There's no myself. That can be so convincing, that whole idea that like spiritual or in any way, like I'm here and I have contact with myself, and how can I do that and all that, or living from my heart, or there's so many ways to, because there's somewhere that feeling there's something missing. This is not complete. I'm not feeling fulfilled and all that. So they're searching for something, and there are so many ways to, there in so many meetings or teachers that are going in a certain way because they're confirming that there's someone, and you can try to make that work, make your life work in a certain way. There never was someone. So there's no need for contact with someone because there's no one. So it's impossible. There can be feelings, but it's not even your feeling. Those feelings can happen. They don't have any meaning. They can happen. And we are so busy and can be busy with what's going on and what does this mean and what do I feel and what it has to do with what, and oh, because of maybe what she said and all that. It's so quick in the story. There seems to be a story going on in a subtle or stronger way. There is no story. There's no one. So there cannot be a story either. When there's someone, then there's a story of me living my life and trying to make it work. When there's no one, there's no story. There's what is happening, a feeling, but it's not in the body. There is no inside or outside. It's also crazy because we are so into like this is my body, and so, or maybe this is the body and I'm feeling something inside. There can be feelings or pain or emotions or any. Of course, there can be that. But that feeling is complete in itself. There's no need for anything, no need to know or anything else to change. It's what it is already, not for anyone. It's happening in space, or how you can say in the air. There's no one to make it happen or to change, or either. So there can be that feeling, yeah? Then there's that feeling for a while, and then something else. It's not then, but of course, how can you say it in another way? You can't express what is. It's like impossible to say how it is. So there's talking in the story, of course. Mm. That's it's so it's so stunning that nothing is wrong. It's like you can't even believe there's nothing wrong, but that's so the normal way of how to look at each other. And that can be like trying like to be positive or all that. But in the end, there's subtle. There can be like there can be a preference for tea or coffee or all those things. Well, there's no meaning in that either. This that can happen, or there's no coffee. There's only tea. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're saying like, oh, that's okay. No, there can be like, oh, There's no coffee. Yeah, can happen too. It's like, it's very normal. This is not like a spiritual, a nice way of living. It's everything. So there's also, or yeah, I can't say. Well, it's everything. Anger can happen, irritation. It's what already is happening. It's complete in that way too. Nothing is wrong, but that doesn't mean that it's okay also. That's something else. It has nothing to do with okay. It's already what is happening.
Rose?
Yeah, I
Hi. Is there too much background noise?
no, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I love that you said that life is a joy. It's so beautiful. Sometimes you forget about that.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's something really funny happening. Like sometimes, like during the day, like that I have a lot of thinking and problems and all that stuff, and then like in the evening time it all disappears, like everything just
Hmm.
disappears. And I don't know why it has to do with day and night. I have no idea, but it's such a funny thing to see or to watch, because it's like then you see such a big difference. It's the same life,
Yeah.
and then like it can be sort of like contracted, or like problems, or like thinking
Hmm.
like I have to make it
Hmm.
happen, or how to make it happen, and
Yeah.
why this happening and not why that not is happening.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly it's all disappeared. It's such a contrast. The
Yeah.
contrast can be very big, and
Yeah. 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 And
I
it's
don't
that
know.
then it's just so simple that you can't even
Yes,
remember like
yes,
what was I thinking? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
It's in a way
Yeah.
it's crazy. In a way it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I can't do anything about that. I mean, it's just the way
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that you could say that meing and being. And if that
Yeah.
energy is there, that energy,
Yeah.
me energy is there, then it goes on till it stops. But
Yes.
it doesn't,
Yes.
it's no big deal, but we have an
No.
idea. Don't want that. It's part of that meing too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh my God,
And it's
that's
so
everything. Yeah.
and it's so obvious that no one is doing it. I'm not like
Yeah. Ah,
switching on,
yeah.
switching off. Yeah,
Ah,
I don't do that. Yeah.
ah, yeah. Well, yeah. But in the
Yeah.
same time, when there's those thoughts, that can be also very strong, that idea. It's
Yes.
not even
Yes.
so
Yes.
much
Yes.
notice that you have
Yeah.
to, yeah.
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 So today was really very strong, and it was like I was just thinking, like, what is this? Where this is coming from? Like all the thinking and the past, and
Mm,
try to
mm,
understand this and to change. And
mm, mm.
it's
Well, it's energy. What is there? There's no meaning in it. There's no like,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
yeah,
we are so used to find a reason and then maybe do something about it or anything or understand what's going on. It's there's it's that energy is going on. Yeah, there's no difference. Like it seems like it's so strong that it can seem like it's useless. So why don't I stop or something like that? Well, everything is useless, so it can also be like that.
yeah,
Oh my
It,
god.
it's so exhausting. I mean, all of that. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
you really try to make it happen. You don't even know like what. It's
Yeah, but the exhaustion, that it's also what is happening. It's not like life, and in the end, when there's no me anymore, it's like going with the flow. No,
no, no, no, of course not.
no,
No.
no, of course not. But it's and there's a knowing of that. Of course, there's somewhere you know that it isn't like that, but in a subtle way, there can be that. Ah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mm, yeah,
Did,
sure.
did anything change for you, like the way the past come in? Like, did anything change? Like, it feels like that the past is more like less and less.
But the strange
Yeah,
thing is, it's not noticed.
yeah, okay,
So I can say now when I can't even remember so much, but there's
yeah,
not so much going on. Well, when there's not so much going on, it's not noticed that there's not so much going on.
yes, that's what. Yeah,
It's
that's
more
what I
like that.
meant. Yeah,
So and that we think when there's so much going on and it feels like, oh my God, it's so exhausting. I want to, then there's that wanting something else is part of that. So, then there are those questions. How was that for you and all that?
yeah,
And then when it's lost, it's like, what was I thinking? I can't even remember what I was thinking. Oh
yeah,
God.
yeah, yeah,
Or when there was a fight, like then some people are also like there was a fight, and then and you say like, what was it about? And they're like, yeah, I don't remember so much. It's like it was so important. Of course, it's already like that. Well, oh wow, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's crazy. Such a
it's
contrast. Yeah,
crazy.
it is.
But at the same time, it's that everything too. But we are so that it's that you could say that energy like there's something wrong, and then it jumps on whatever like exhaustion or so
Yeah,
many thoughts or anything. There can be many thoughts, but yeah. So yeah, there can be. Look at the weather. It's like everything. It's also like we don't want storm. Yeah. What?
yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that. It's just that. But it's everything. But we think we have a choice subtly somewhere or wanting some things we want and some things we don't want or anything like that. And it's already when it's saying it's already. It's like yeah. Hello. Those moments that there's nothing going on. I want that all the time. Oh my god, it's no. Life is that everything or it's already complete like that. So when there's a waiting for a moment, then you wait forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is there something like when you say there is no distance? Is it part of it that it's like they try like trying to do something with it? That's the distance. Like trying to do like, try to reach to try to do something with what is happening. Is it part of the distance? Like there's a distance
It's
between
more
me and what is happening.
that sounds more like time. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Oh,
think
in
it is.
that way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that concept is so embodied. That feeling of time and there's something
Yeah,
before and all that.
yeah,
And then, and of course, also, and that's crazy. Also, like when everything is lost, the story still goes on, but for no one and all that. So not having a meaning or all that. When there's still going on, like oh, do you have that? And then going to the shopping, making lists, everything is going on in the same. So you can't even see like is there a difference or not. It's not really. So this is also that you can't grasp it because when they're saying it's already complete, you think like, yeah, when there's no one, there's already complete, or when then everything is, no, it's already, it's exactly that how it's going. It's the completeness also. It's also, yeah, of course, those thoughts and all that isn't, that don't have any meaning, but that can happen, sure.
Yeah. I love that. I think Jim said that it says like it's done, like it is done.
Yeah,
It's done
yeah,
already, and it's
yeah,
because it's so
done
immediate.
already.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
so immediate.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
anyway, thank you, Rose.
yeah. Thank you. Mm. This also has nothing to do with what is happening, because that's what we normally so busy with, what is going on, and there can be like this, and there can be like that, and but it has nothing. Life is everything, so it has nothing to do with a certain way this or a certain way that. It's everything. So the paradise and the completeness is already this is paradise. This is paradise, but paradise is not like the idea of everything is bliss or in that way. There's a joy and aliveness in it. It's also in anger or pain. Okay.
Hello, Rose.
Hi. Hello.
What's going through me?
Yeah.
It's this idea of position, and an integral part is feeling lonely, separate, and different from anything, different from others. And it seems to be so ingrained in the body, in the story from childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's all I know, in a way,
Yeah.
even
That's
if it's painful.
yeah.
At least that's what I know, and
Yeah.
I don't know anything else.
Yeah.
And that's very much the position.
Yeah, it's a concept what is very much embodied. So this
Yes,
and what we're talking about is loss. So it will not be suddenly clear like, oh, there is no position. But sometimes that whole concept is not that strong anymore. So suddenly that position is not so apparent or something like
yes,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
more like that. Or sometimes it's some moment it's there, and other moments it's not even there, but it's not so much noticed. Can also
No,
be.
no, no.
Yeah.
I mean, here it seems to go with ill health.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
when it's threatened somewhere that can in some way that can be like, oh, and then trying to survive in a certain way. Is that what you mean?
yeah, it's just. I mean, it's like feeling sorry for myself.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
You know. Oh,
Yeah. 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 And it's not the whole time. We are
no.
so, when there's something going on, we are so into grasping it and then having it and then dealing with it in a certain way. And that makes it like suffering. And
Yes,
it's
yes.
not the whole time. It's not. And that feels like that, or it's forever, or things like that. Yeah. Can be like that too. It's not. No. There's also a wall and all. It's just in. It's all that. It's all. Everything is going on in that way. You could say, and it's. But we think we are the most important. That we are the center. So it's the focus is on us or what's
Yes.
going on.
It feels like concentrated.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And when that's there, it's so can be. You can there can be a knowing of no, it's not like that. But it feels so strong. Then you can't think yourself out of it or something like that.
That's right. Yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
yeah. Thing.
Can I continue on this
Of course.
as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then the me comes and says, "Oh, it's my fault.
Ah.
It's because I'm wrong."
Mm.
And
Yeah, that's such a strong one. Can be
oh,
so strong and like, oh my God, there is again, and it's
you
so
you
like,
shouldn't be
oh,
like this,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there's something wrong
Mm-hmm.
with this
Yeah.
person.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
It just smushes all together like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's how that me is that feeling there's something wrong. That's so embodied feeling. And that's well that's what's going on. That can be like a feeling like well, I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
With the narrative and
Mm.
I don't know if you can hear me. I
Yeah.
hardly go on any Zoom anymore.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like the me. I'm staying here, even though there's no me. It's a story again. You know, it's
Mm.
just it feels I feel disoriented.
Mm. Yeah,
It's
it's
just
not about I don't think it's the me. It's like there's something going on, and that's
going
the
on.
way
Yeah,
how it's going. And you can't make the can't you that what we try is making a story of it, a clue or something. What's going
yes,
on?
yeah.
We, we don't even know. There's something going on. Not going to a Zoom meeting, and suddenly you do, and why is that? And I don't know. It's not even
Yes,
what is it? What's going on? There's walking, and there's all kind of and there's not being able maybe maybe the fear can also be like not being able to make a story of it anymore. Oh, then there's what's going on here. There's this and that. It's like there's no continuation in that. It's like falling apart. So
yes,
that
yes,
story gives a little bit of continuation. Well,
yeah.
it
Oh, yes,
seems
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's falling apart in the same time too a bit. So it's like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah,
Yes, that's it. Yeah, yes, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank-
Hello, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. I wanted to say or ask the sense of or the thought arising, this is not it, is
Ah,
for me, I think is strong if the sense of being a body is very strong.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yet the body isn't a hindrance, or the sense of embodiment and being in the body, it isn't a really hindrance, or
No, well, there's so many ideas about when there's when you feel like if the idea is there that the body is solid and you touch, you're like this touching, then you say, yeah, I feel it's solid. But there's in the end, there's that sensation, and you don't even know where it is, and so it doesn't mean it's solid. So that's also with the body. There can be some sensations, of course. Well, yeah. And it's
yes,
not like
okay.
you don't need to say like, oh yeah, it's there and it's not there in the same time. All that can suddenly be very
Mhm.
obvious or not. It doesn't matter. It in the same. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if that's
Mhm.
like that.
Okay. Yes. Because sometimes I feel more
Oh,
aligned with everything,
sorry,
and sometimes more.
sorry. Wait, my battery is. Huh? So I'm sorry. The battery. Oh. It was full. What are you doing, everybody? It was full when we started. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Oh yeah, no problem. um, I don't know. It's. I think it's what I want to say is sometimes it feels just more open, and sometimes it's more on the body, and
Yeah.
yet nothing.
Mm.
None of these is more or less true or real, or yeah, I don't know how to say it.
No, it's not
um,
true or real. It's like it's not of no importance. So there
yes,
can
yes,
be that feeling of it feels like it's flowing or it's open or it's
yes.
tense. Yeah, can be. But there's also a cup of tea. So we are so like in that most of the people are so busy with how do you feel and what's going on in your life and does the body
Hmm.
feel. It's of no importance. So there can be that pain or feeling, and that's when the body is there and it feels like it's always there. So it feels like also there's the pain is always there, or that feeling is for a long time, and
Yes.
it's not even like that. So it's but we are so focused and we take it home and we take it like this, and then you'll be busy with it. So it feels like it's all the time there, or it's so open or so tense or and then trying to find out why. And so it makes it into something, and that's more, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's of no use at all. It's not,
Hmm.
can happen like that or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Okay.
doesn't help for anything. It's just being busy with something. You can also be busy with the garden. Or I don't know. It's the same thing. And that seems busy with your body or your life seems much more important than with the garden or something else. And then
Mm.
that's more like, no, nothing is more important than anything else. It's already like that. What is this? It's already strange sometimes to hear.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm.
Hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
I think it was last week after this session. I
Mm.
think it was last week that I there was an understanding. There was finally an understanding of
Yeah.
like what you've been
Yeah.
talking about. And then I
Yeah.
realized I was trying to remember what that was, and now I
Oh
can't
yeah.
remember.
Oh yeah, I know that.
I was like,
Yeah.
it's just there, it's right there, but I can't remember now what that was. And
Yeah.
there was,
Mm-hmm.
no, there was not anybody, I had that sense of like, there's not anybody there doing this, and reaching out into the imagination all the time to, that
Yeah.
I think it was like something
Uh-huh.
occurred, like that what we consider normal, reality is reaching out into imagination all the time. And then that sort of wasn't there. And then, that's considered like, ooh, but it's actually the other thing is not real. Does that make sense?
It's the other way around. Yeah.
Right.
We are so living in that story of imagination and all that. It seems so real. And then suddenly it's just about hand or sitting. Yeah. It's like, that's not important. It's about how do you deal with everything? This is saying it's not important. How do you deal? What is that? How do you deal with everything? It's about sitting. It's so
How do you
strange.
deal with it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This is so simple that you can't take it serious in that way. You could say like, yeah, how can I take that? It's that no, life is not that simple in that way. You could say, yeah, it is. It is that. Well, it's like you can't even, understand. Or how do you say that? Like, how can it be like that? So simple, just sitting or without any meaning at all, not being busy with anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But everything goes on by itself. Everything is by itself. It's by itself. Life is by itself. And we think we are important in doing and busy and all that. We're not. We're not there even. It's like, oh, what is that? How can you say that? Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
there's, okay, I don't drive, but I'm just thinking of something that one seems to be doing, like driving.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? You don't need a central whatever that we think is there to do.
Yeah.
That's still going to happen. There's
Yeah.
still that's something. I don't know. There is driving.
Yeah, there is
Going
driving.
on, but that's
Yeah.
kind of a mystery how that's.
Yeah. On top of that, we think we do it. It's very quick on top of that.
Right.
So strong. And there's also that, like, there's that tension, that feeling of contracted energy, like I'm here and all that. That seems very important because then it's about you. Life is about you. So there's that. Yeah. It's so strong, that feeling that I'm here. And then the whole story with that. You can't even imagine that without that, it's also possible. But it is already going like that. So that's also in a way it's funny because we're so busy, like also in these meetings, like trying to find what is that, like we're missing or all that, and it's the only thing there is, and we trying to look for it, but you can't look for it because it's everything. Well, that's so weird and strange. It's not about you. Oh, yeah, strange. Mm. Somebody's saying, can you please, of self-sabotage or self-destruction, is a story. Can you please talk about? I think you asked if I can talk about self-sabotage. What is self-sabotage? It's in the story, that thinking like what I'm doing is making myself more miserable by doing things or something like that. It's what is happening. So there's no self. So there's also no self-sabotage. That's a way of looking at yourself, and I'm doing something that makes me more miserable. That feeling miserable can happen, but it's not because of you. It's not because of you doing something and then you make it worse. You can't make that work. You're not able to make that work worse because there's no one. There's already no one. So there's that. It's a story. When there's that feeling, there can be a feeling of feeling like I can't even know what's going on, and maybe not being able to feel in the right way or anything. You don't even, I like confusing and all that. That can happen. There's nothing wrong or right with that. It's not because you do something which is destructive or all that. That's in the story only. That's making a story of it. And we are so used to, when there's the story, there's always something going wrong, and there's something you don't do right, and that's because of the past, and you did it, there was a long time you did it, and maybe a while you didn't, and now it's coming back again, and all that. It's the story. There's nothing going wrong. There can be a feeling, but that feeling is not the whole time there. There's no life of someone who's doing things. There is sitting, a feeling, and there's something else going on. It's like there is no someone. There is not a life of someone. That is that's the misunderstanding. There is that what is happening is complete, and it's that that it's in that sense also that feeling, maybe sadness or feeling or depressed, or any feeling can be there. It's unconditional love too. That's crazy because we are so ideas about what it is. Everything is unconditional love, and it's not something which happens to you. It's everything. It's the only thing there is. So it's the table, it's that feeling, it's a glass of wine, it's eating chocolate. It doesn't matter what it is. It's everything. We're so focused on what we're doing and how we feel and because and all that. There's no because. Is that feeling, is it? And then there's drinking coffee or tea or a glass, the wall, walking, a dog. It's everything. It's unconditional love. Life is that already. What I Some people say it's why do you call it love? It's unconditional. It's the only thing there is. It's that stunning energy, it in all kind of ways. It can be like miserable and joy, and maybe even together. It's like that water, it's like the wall, it's everything. It's just not for someone. There is not someone. There's not that life of someone. It's this one soup. There are no different parts. It's singular. So that's the unconditional one, because it's complete. Everything is complete in itself. And it's that unconditional love already. There can be tension. And that tension is life tensioning. Yeah. It's that we are so looking at it and making it in a certain way, it's like it's wrong. Like, what is that tension? Oh God, what is that tension? There can be. There's nothing wrong with that, because when that's happening, it's going like that. But tension is that it's tension. It's complete. It's not. It's not good or something like that. But it's so strong that we think some things are wrong or we do it wrong. That's such a misunderstanding. It's so embodied misunderstanding. There can't be something wrong. It's just no. But there can be those ideas, of course, or beliefs.
I think that's really amazing that there was nothing wrong.
Yeah. You cannot say to yourself, but in a way it's nearly impossible to believe that. In a certain way you can, and then, well, this is so embodied, that feeling, that it's so amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's that that's you could say that's that unconditional love, that there's nothing wrong, also
exactly.
nothing right either, because that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
there's no conditions. We are so into conditioned. It should be like that, or this can't be it. And then, oh, it's everything, everything. Well, that is love. That is unconditional love. That's everything. It's that skirt. It's that thing. It's that glass. It's that. Oh, you can't. You. You can't miss it, because it's everything already. It's
yeah, but
living it.
I also think that a lot of people, when there is a kind of a feeling that they are afraid that they are staying into that it stays, or that it's solid, but nothing is solid.
No, you can't make you can't say it's like that, or it's a feeling. It's not a feeling, so you can't. When it's everything, how can you say what it is? You can't. I can't.
No, but with,
Yeah.
I think with some, I think there are a lot of people that have a lot of difficulties with feelings that are not so easy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
The idea of good feelings and bad feelings. It's so embodied.
yeah,
There's so many. Yeah.
yeah,
And you can know that, but when suddenly there's being ill or anything, when the body doesn't function and all that, it's like, yeah, of course, yeah. Then it comes back. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But as unconditional love, it's so amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hey, Rose.
Hey, hi.
Hi. I am sorry, but I have to say, but I feel that my life in the last 2 years seemingly has gone down the wrong road. It feels like that.
Mm.
And I feel like that everything has become sort of an obligation. It feels almost like an obligation, a lot of things at least. And it feels like that the joy and this spontaneous whatever aliveness that was previously, let's say, there, it seems
Yeah.
now in the background. So
Mm.
yeah. And yeah,
Well,
that's
it
how.
can be. Look, when it's so embodied that there's something wrong and it should be in a certain way and all that fighting and all that. And when that's in a subtle way it is there, then it comes out, and then comes out. Yeah, how can you say it? And
Yeah.
it shows itself. That it's just shown. It's just that. It's also there's nothing right or wrong. There's no meaning in it. well, we have an idea about how it could be, and maybe we want that old, like how it was before, we want that back. It will never be the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when that unconditional, when that feeling like that, what you said, it was before like that it was in a certain way, and then it's different. So you think like that's unconditional love, and this is something else. Meaning is going on or something. No, it isn't. It's just different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, but it's like that because that's subtle. That can be so strong, and then it's so embodied. So that's so deep down. It's like that, and then suddenly it's like, yeah, but this can't be it. It's like, yeah, it is. God. Yeah, yeah. And there's also what can happen. Also, it's making it into something else, because when there's a feeling like, then it's making it into something else, and a story with that. It's a story.
Yes, and funnily, I'm almost unnerved by that whole mechanism myself. Like it's a bit, in a way, I'm also unnerved by that. It's funny, like it's still going on somehow, but it's also at the same time it nerves me or annoys me.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah. And that, and there's nothing you can know everything, go to meetings, anything, it doesn't change at all.
No,
So because that's because it doesn't need to change, and that's so amazing, because there's something going on. This is wanting something else, and that's me. It's not that feeling or all that has nothing to do with that, but that somewhere that focusing on there's something wrong, or it should be different, or all that, and that's it. But when that's going on,
yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There can be any circumstances or feelings or
Yeah. That's like that's quite magnificent for me to repeatedly like when I, for example, when we talk now,
I
can sense that is like that you don't want to convey anything. So it's no problem that I, for example, have, let's say, resistance or whatever. It's like no problem. Whatever is going on here is no problem towards this communication, because you don't have any agenda which you would like to teach us or so.
And that's what's going on. And for the rest, you don't know, I don't know, and we'll see. Well, that's how it is.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
And you will come to Brussels, right? Next weekend, is it?
Next weekend.
I try to come on Sundays.
Oh, that's
It'd be
nice to
lovely
see
to
you again. Yeah, that would be great.
Yes.
Wow, good. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Oh, thanks. Oh, and it's already 8:30. You were talking too long, Lara. No, so fine. No, and I want to say also, like tomorrow, we'll how do you say that? We're going to be having a meeting in Amsterdam. It's not going on. So we have a Zoom meeting tomorrow. So there will be the Zoom meeting at 10:30 in Amsterdam time. So like always, there will be the Zoom meeting. So, and then of course there's next week there will be in Brussels. We have a weekend in Brussels. So if you're still if you're interested, please let me know. And then there's still some places, so you can come if you want to. So thank you everybody. Wait, I can stop the recording.